Hello and welcome to today's video as we go over some player moves as well as preview CBLOL Split 2. First we have Team Wii and Weibo. So they're joined together because Team Wii have acquired Era. I assume Yao Yao is out, but that's not official yet. And then Hung has returned to Weibo. He's played with Weibo on two separate occasions, I believe, already, even last year. Weibo went from what was Hung to Era and then Crisp in 2025, and obviously had a successful season. Hung going to Top Esports to end the year and doing all right. A good player. We're able to goes to international events pretty regularly. Was he a drop off from Mako? Yes, but alongside Jackie, he still got to the big dance. Now, Era is a young, promising support. And I think with Team Wii, this is not awful. Team Wii last year had Vampire, and they were much better than people expected. Of course, they had Taeyun alongside Vampire, but I don't think About is much worse. So with that in mind, hell, About has the potential to be even better. And that makes me believe Team Wii, could be turning up with Era as the support. He had a 3.5 KDA, 74 KP with Weibo alongside Elk, who is obviously an elite 80 carry. 0.86 ROI, tends to be a little more aggressive. 213 vision efficiency. Laning relatively even, which he's a support, that's fine. One new champion every 3 games. Solid player. Weibo in conversation with Era and Hung as being a team that could go to Worlds. They finished near the top, I want to say top 4 in this split 1. So theoretically, the LPL obviously will get, theoretically they're going to get a 4th seed at this Worlds, joining LCK, and Weibo would be in that conversation. With Hung last year, 3.2 KDA, 76 KP, 82 ROI. These numbers aren't very much different than Hung. Vision efficiency 1.84, which last year isn't good enough. That is one area of his game that leaves a lot to be desired. Jackie, historically, has been very good at getting proper vision. His vision efficiency is some of the best in the LPL in his role. So, for the support not to match that is not great, but do keep in mind half of his season was played with Light as well, who is not a bum either. Up 100 gold. Champions played, he could have played more. I think he played 13 champions in 100 games or something, which is not enough. DFM. So DFM allowed Payne to leave. We see him go to Payne. We've talked about him prior when he got announced as leaving. They brought in Fisher and Woody to play on this team. Is the team better? I don't think so. I think it's better, but I think the problems are far greater than what Fisher and Woody could bring. Fisher has played in the LPL with EDG. He's also played in the LCK with Nongshim. This year he's played 5 games, 4 in Kespa Cup with Bro, and then a game in Challengers with Bro. Losing his job to Romer, who in my opinion is not LCK level, and Loki, who is borderline LCK level. Fisher's a very young player. Seen a lot of movement in his career. It's unfortunate that I think that kind of fucked his development up. 2.7 KDA, 70 KP, 8.5 CS per minute. Dealt a good amount of damage, 1.7, but his farm is a little lower than you'd like. You see Payne at 9.7. This is who he's replacing. 4-5 share differential. He does take on a carry role with his team. Vision's good, but behind 426 gold at 15 minutes. I know it's the LCK, but that's a damn disaster. In LCP, I'd like to think he'd go even, but he's not going to win lane and be that difference maker that Payne was. Couple solo kills, different champion every game. Woody played with PSG. That roster that continued to go to Worlds. That same roster, pretty much. The 4, at least, with Aja, Maple, and Betty, and then Woody. We'll see how Woody does away from Betty alongside Cocoon. I think Cocoon is pretty bad. And I don't think Woody's going to solve those problems. These problems run deep with this team. So 3.6 KDA, 78 KP. Very involved in what PSG did last season. 4 out of every 5 kills. ROI solid. 194 vision efficiency. Ahead. Went to Worlds. New champion every 6 games or so. But I don't think he's going to fix DFM's problems. And then you have Payne. Kine joins, Tinones is out. Kine is better than Tinones. Kine is probably better than whoever they've had at mid for a few years now. Kine has that 1v9 ability on teams that are not very good. That's why, and to keep in mind, that doesn't mean it results in wins necessarily, but he has the ability to take on that role of trying to carry this weight behind him. With DFM, 2.1 KDA, 65 KP, 9.7 CS per minute. I mean, fed him resources, and he dealt a good amount of damage at 1.69, 6.1 share differential. He led the team in damage. It wasn't even close. And with Payne, with a better team being on Payne, I expect Kine to be just fine. I expect Payne to be better, and hence that's why they've already moved up down here. 3, vision efficiency is good, relatively even at 15 minutes, 1 solo kill every 4 games, 8 champions in 15 games. Now, Tinones struggled. I mean, similar KDA, actually his KDA was quite a bit better, but KP's the same, but Farm, spotting theoretically Kine at 14 CS lead at 10 minutes on average, while also dealing less damage, worse vision, behind 417 gold on average at 15 minutes. That's awful. Spotting your opponents at 400 gold lead, like Tinones, I just think he's done. He's just done. It is what it is. I called this team the retirement home before the season began, and there was a reason for that. Kine's not young, but Kine still has something left in the tank. Down here we have team ranking. So first is based on players, which is this part. We have power rankings, which you've seen if you've been watching my content. Regular season finish, playoff finish. So, based on individual player stats relative to their individual roles, Los are the best team. And that's not a surprise. I think Zest and Feisty are the best players in their role, if not very close to it. Very close to it. As carry-oriented players. Drake Hero is no slouch. Duda and Ackerman are nasty in the bot lane duo. Now, they can't put it together in playoffs. That's why they end up 4th. They won regular season. 2nd in team stats, which is better than Loud. And Loud are getting a boost. Loud get a boost because they went to first stand. But yet their team stats are so bad that even with the boost, they cannot overcome what are the top 3 teams in this region. Loud just were able to do well for a short period of time with Envy in the lineup. I have my reservations on the team continuing that going forward. Furia, 2nd. Red, 3rd. You might say, well, how are Furia 2nd? You know, they dominated America's Cup, which is Rift Rivals. And, statistically, they're very good. Tatu is excellent. That mid-jungle duo I have is the best in the region. But when you take into top lane into account, I give Grandes the edge. Bot lane duo of IU Jojo kind of just go with the flow and get the job done. Tatu and Toots are kind of what makes this team go, as well as Gigo and top lane. Regular season, they finished 3rd. Playoff finish, they finished 3rd. But statistically, they're the best performing team macro-wise. They just have to put it together like Los Grandes when it matters most. Now, they put it together better than Los this past season. Split, which is why they finished above them. But both teams are in a similar boat of, hey, you got to get over the hump. Beat Red, beat Loud when you're split. Speaking of Red remained 3rd, even though they're making a roster change with the jungler. Now, if I were to say, hey, I'm going to have to... I can't say that, because last year they made changes, and it worked for them. They were very competitive down the stretch. However, the dysfunction in the bot lane duo, whether Rebello's playing at all, Frosty's playing AD carry, Uzent's playing, they didn't know what the fuck they were going to do. And that sort of dysfunction is not a recipe for success, in my opinion. Obviously, I think everybody would agree that the fact that they've just now had to go back to their original plan which is Rebello and Frosty, is a problem. Because not that that bot lane was bad, because I thought that bot lane was fine and didn't need to be replaced, but that they've been fucking around and wasting time in scrims trying to mix and match a bot lane duo. I have it tied for third in this role anyways with Vivo Keat Stars. Payne I have as the second best bot lane with Trigger and Curry, because I think Trigger is statistically the best AD carry in the region, and he proved that in his games, which is a thing. And Curry is obviously not a bum. But Red obviously perform when it matters. VKS, like I said, it's tough. They made changes. They have Sayo, they have Weiser. A lot of people complaining, bitching, and moaning there's only one Brazilian player on this team. Okay, well, if it succeeds, you don't get to take any sort of... Don't cheer. That's not your team. You know, we don't get to pick and choose when we cheer, when we don't, you know, based on, you know, xenophobia, essentially. This WWE mindset of like, hey, we want our players, it doesn't matter the results. Okay, well then why do you want 2 seeds? Why get 2 seeds if you don't give a fuck about actually being competitive enough to go there? Like, you should want to put the best team there, not just have 5 players go 0-6 or 0-3 and go home. Like, that's a waste of a spot. That's a waste of a spot just for some WWE entertainment. Put together the best team available. Now, VKS have made some mistakes. Xeno, with Loud, is unfortunate for them. They've lost out on that. Now looking at their academy team, it's a little older than you'd like. They've got like a 27-year-old, a 24-year-old. Like, that's not development. That's not development. Now, Sayo, though, is an upgrade over Mordia. Sayo is legit alongside Kaiwing. We'll see how Kaiwing does. I have the team ranked 4th. I think they're middle of the road otherwise. Payne are moving up because of that bot lane. In Kine in mid. Now, Samke's, we'll see how he does. I have no idea how that kid's going to do. Leviton are 6. Devo in top lane had like 17 solo kills or 13 solo kills in 17 games, something like that. I mean, a very strong, young top laner with a lot of potential just on a shit team. We'll see how he does. Replacing Sayo is going to be very difficult with Snaker. I don't think that's going to happen. Enga is not a bum, but that team is also kind of whatever. Loud, statistically, are not very good player-wise. They put it together regular season to finish 4th. Power rankings are 3rd as a result of this and going to first stand. They go to first stand and you can say, oh, well, they took Lion to 5 games. Congratulations. When I look at the entirety of the split, this is what I got. Now, people are going to say, yeah, but you should really only look at it with envy. No, I'm going to take the entire sample size, and we're going to roll with it. And then when we get a sample size that's more than a few games, 15 games is what I think it ended up being right now. And we'll talk about it some more. But right now, this is kind of how it is. Because Bull and Redbird were completely exposed internationally. It was atrocious. And these other bot lanes should be watching that. They're ranked 7th, and that's a pretty hard 7th right now with how poorly they played internationally against bot lanes that I don't think are some, like, Berserker Isles is not some elite cracked bot lane. So that's a thing. This team also got 100 to 0'd by JDG, which is the only team that got 100 to 0'd at that event. And then Fluxo. I mean, Fluxo added Cody to mid. Cody is ranked technically as the last mid right now, but Cody's probably better than ours. Support change, I don't think it's going to make a fucking difference. This team is on struggle street, so they're 8th. But that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.